In the cradle of humanity, where the Earth's crust fractured to form the Great Rift Valley, lies a land born of primordial fire. A landscape sculpted not by gentle hands, but by violent upheaval and the slow chisel of time. This is Kenya, a name that echoes with the promise of untamed wilderness. But beneath the sweeping romance of its golden plains, an older, more brutal law holds dominion. Here, life is not a gift, but a debt. A debt paid each day with vigilance, with struggle, and often with blood under the impartial gaze of an equatorial sun. The first light of dawn does not bring peace, it merely illuminates the arena. It reveals the survivors of the night's dark hunt and exposes the vulnerable to the coming day's trials. The wind that sweeps across the Masai Mara carries more than dust. It carries the scent of predator and prey, the faint promise of rain, and the ancient stories of this land. Every creature here is a masterpiece of survival, forged in the crucible of drought. And deluge. Each is a living testament to a lineage that refused to yield. To exist here is to understand the language of silence. It is to know that the greatest danger is not the thunderous charge, but the unseen ripple in the grass. The seasons are the true rulers of this kingdom. The coming of the rains is a symphony of rebirth, while the long, dry months are a slow, agonizing test of endurance. There are no villains or heroes on this stage, only participants in a cycle so vast and relentless that it dwarfs the fate of any single life. The beauty of this land is a deceptive veil, hiding a constant underlying tension. It is the beauty of a perfectly crafted knife's edge, both magnificent and lethal. From the snow-capped peak of Mount Kenya to the shimmering expanse of Lake Turkana, the land itself is a character, a silent observer to the endless drama. Here, power is measured in strength, in speed, in cunning, but true survival is measured in the ability to adapt to a world that is in constant, unforgiving flux. The ground is sacred, marked by the hoofprints of a million migrations and the paw prints of the hunters that follow. It is a library of ancient journeys. In the moments between hunter and hunted, between life and death, the true essence of the wild is revealed. A raw, unfiltered look into the engine of existence. Every sound has meaning. The nervous flick of an ear, the distant call of a fish eagle, the low growl that signals a shift in power. Life's currency here is energy. Every calorie consumed, every calorie expended, is part of a delicate and ruthless economy that governs all. The smallest players, the termite, the dung beetle, are the true architects. Their unseen labors are the foundation upon which this entire ecosystem is built. And towering above them are the giants, the charismatic megafauna. Their lives are epic sagas of power, family, and a desperate struggle for the future. The story of Kenya is not a gentle one. It is a story of fire and rain, of feast and famine, of the unbreakable will to live against all odds. This is not a world of simple truths. It is a complex web of interdependence, where the death of one is inextricably linked to the life of another. The air itself seems to vibrate with a primal energy, a feeling that this land remembers the dawn of humankind and the countless dawns that came before. We now step into this world, not as masters, but as observers, to witness the ancient laws that still govern this magnificent and brutal kingdom. Forget what you know of order and justice. Here, the only law is that of survival, and the only justice is the continuation of the circle. The drama is about to unfold, as it does every day, a timeless play with an ever-changing cast. performed on the greatest stage on Earth. This is Kenya, and its story begins, as it so often does, with the rising of the sun and the awakening of the hunters. On a rocky outcrop, a lone male lion surveys his domain. His magnificent mane is not a symbol of vanity, but a testament to his fitness, a battle-scarred chronicle of his reign. He holds the most coveted and dangerous position on the savanna. He is a king, but his crown is heavy, and challengers are always waiting in the shadows. His roar rolls across the plains, not just a sound, but a seismic proclamation of his presence. It is a warning to rivals and a reassurance to his pride. The pride itself rests nearby, a portrait of lethargy that conceals a core of lethal potential. The true work of hunting falls to the lionesses. They are a sisterhood of hunters, bound by blood and a shared purpose. Their cooperation is the engine that feeds the entire family, from the dominant male to the smallest cub. Tonight the wind carries the scent of grazing zebra. The hunt begins not with a roar, but with a silent acknowledgement, a shared glance between the lead hunters. They fan out using the terrain to their advantage, becoming low, silent shadows in the tall grass. Each lioness knows her role without a sound being uttered. The zebra herd is alert, their disruptive camouflage a powerful defense. But the lions are masters of exploiting the slightest lapse in vigilance. The stalk is an agonizingly slow process, a masterpiece of patience and control. Every muscle is held in check, every step placed with surgical precision. One lioness begins a wide flanking maneuver, aiming to drive. The herd towards the hidden ambush. It is a deadly chess game played on a scale of kilometers. Suddenly, chaos. The charge is a coordinated explosion of golden muscle. The zebra herd panics, their patterns breaking as they bolt in every direction. The lions focus on a single individual, a mare that is a fraction slower than the rest. They isolate her, cutting off her escape routes with brutal efficiency. The impact is immense, a collision of power and desperation. The weight of several lionesses brings the powerful animal down in a cloud of dust. The kill is made with a suffocating bite to the throat. It is a grim, necessary act that will sustain the pride for days to come. The cubs, who have been watching from a safe distance, now emerge. For them, this is both a meal and a lesson in the brutal art of survival. They squabble over scraps, their playful growls a rehearsal for the serious conflicts that will define their adult lives. The male arrives to claim his share, his dominance. Ensures that he maintains the strength needed to protect the pride from the constant threat of hyenas and rival males. But this scene of familial success is a temporary reprieve. The life of a lion is one of constant conflict, and peace is a fleeting illusion. Nomadic males, driven by the instinct to pass on their genes, relentlessly probe the boundaries of his territory. Their scent is a promise of violence to come. A takeover would be catastrophic for the cubs. A new male will kill the UEE. Offspring of his predecessor, to bring the females back into estrus. So the king's life is a lonely vigil. He must constantly patrol, constantly reaffirm his ownership of this land and the lives within it. His scars tell stories of past battles, of near misses with buffalo horns and the claws of his own kind. Each scar is a badge of survival. The greatest threat often comes from within. As he ages, his strength will wane, and a younger, stronger rival will eventually rise to challenge him. No. Lion King rules forever. His reign is a brief, violent, and glorious chapter in the endless history of the savanna. The pride also faces threats from disease. Canine distemper and bovine tuberculosis can sweep through a population, devastating even the strongest prides. And then there are the hyenas. Not just scavengers, but powerful, intelligent rivals who will challenge lions for kills and even prey on their young. The night is filled with their whooping calls, a constant reminder to the lions. That they do not rule this kingdom uncontested. A lioness weary from the hunt must remain vigilant. A single hyena is a nuisance. A clan is a mortal threat to her cubs. She leads them to a new den site, a constant rotation to keep their scent from building up and attracting unwanted attention. For all their power, lions lead a life of surprising precariousness. Injury, starvation, and conflict are constant companions. Their social bonds are their greatest strength. They hunt together, raise, their young together, and defend their territory as one. A lioness will nurse the cubs of her sister. This communal nursery is a vital strategy for ensuring that as many cubs as possible reach adulthood. But the odds are stacked against them. Less than 1 in 5 cubs will survive to their second birthday. The savanna is an unforgiving nursery. As the pride settles, their golden coats blend into the dry grass. They are, for a moment, at peace, a symbol of Africa's raw and untamable spirit. But the peace is fragile. The sun will set, and the ancient struggles for power, for food, for the future of their bloodline will begin anew. In the tangled thickets of the riverine forest, where the lion's power is diminished, another ruler holds court, a master of stealth, a phantom of the shadows. The leopard is the embodiment of solitary perfection. Where the lion is a king who rules by proclamation, the leopard is an assassin who rules by stealth. Its coat of rosettes is one of nature's most effective forms of camouflage. It allows the cat to dissolve into the dappled light, becoming just another part of the landscape. This is a creature of immense power, pound for pound stronger than a lion. A power concentrated in a compact, muscular frame built for explosive action. Its life is one of secrecy. Leopards are so elusive that it is possible to live alongside one for years and never know of its existence. A male patrols his territory, a vast area he holds exclusively against other males. His presence is announced through scent markings and clawed trees. He is the ultimate opportunist. His diet is the most varied of all. The big cats, ranging from dung beetles to adult wildebeest. He kills what he can, when he can. Tonight he has his sights set on a troop of baboons, settling for the night in a tall acacia tree. This is a dangerous and audacious choice of prey. Adult baboons are powerful, armed with formidable canines, and they will fight viciously to defend their troop. A leopard must rely on surprise. He climbs a neighboring tree with a silent, fluid grace. His movements are so precise, so quiet, that not a single leaf seems to rustle. From his high vantage point, he waits. Patience is his greatest weapon. He can hold a position for hours, waiting for the perfect moment of inattention. A young baboon, on the edge of the troop, becomes his focus. The leopard's entire being narrows to this single point, this single life he is about to take. The leap between the trees is a breathtaking feat of athleticism and calculation. A dark shape, launched across the void under the moonlight. He lands in the midst of the troop, chaos erupts. In the confusion, he secures his target with a swift bite to the neck. But the hunt is only half the battle. Now he must secure his prize. Lions and hyenas are never far, and they will not hesitate to steal his kill. He descends the tree, the heavy baboon in his jaws, and begins the arduous task of hoisting it back up into the branches. This act requires incredible strength. He can carry prey twice his own body weight up a sheer vertical trunk, high in the wadi. Canopy, he has created a larder, safe from the scavengers below. Here he can feed at his leisure, a solitary king in his arboreal castle. Elsewhere, a female leopard faces a different challenge. She is a mother, and her secrecy is not just for hunting, but for protecting her vulnerable cubs. She keeps them hidden in a dense thicket or a rocky crevice, moving them every few days to avoid creating a scent trail that predators might follow. Her cubs are born blind and helpless. For the first few darkness of the den and the warmth of their mother. When she hunts, she must leave them alone, a period of immense risk, for every instinct screams for her to return quickly. She teaches them through mock hunts and play. They stalk her tail, they practice their pounce, honing the skills that will one day mean the difference between life and death. The life of a leopard cub is even more perilous than that of a lion. They face threats from every other major predator. Including their own kind. If a male leopard finds the cubs of another, he will likely kill them. It is a harsh reality of the solitary life they lead. The mother's success is measured not only in the kills she makes, but in her ability to raise her offspring to independence in this hostile world. The leopard is a symbol of adaptation. It thrives in forests, in deserts, on mountains, and even on the outskirts of human cities. It is a ghost in the machine of the ecosystem, a vital, silent, regulator of prey populations. Its presence is a sign of a healthy, complex environment. As the dawn breaks, the leopard dissolves back into the shadows, leaving behind only the faintest of tracks. The phantom has vanished, but its presence is still felt. Its story is a reminder that the most significant power on the savanna is not always the one that makes the most noise. Out on the open plains, where the leopard's stealth is less effective, a different hunter reigns. A specialist, an animal built for a single, breathtaking purpose: speed. The cheetah is an arrow of evolution, every aspect of its anatomy fine-tuned for acceleration. A flexible spine, large nostrils, and semi-retractable claws for grip. It is the most fragile of the big cats. Its speed comes at the cost of strength. It is built for the chase, not for the fight. Its distinctive tear marks are thought to reduce the glare of the sun, a vital adaptation for a hunter who operates in the harsh light of day. Hunting in daylight allows the cheetah to avoid direct competition with the nocturnal lions and leopards. It is a strategy of avoidance. A mother cheetah leads her cubs across the plains. She is a single parent, solely responsible for feeding and protecting her offspring. Her task is monumental. The mortality rate for cheetah cubs is shockingly high, often over percent. They are targets for every other predator. She must constantly move them, never staying in one place for long. She is teaching them to be ghosts, to leave no trace. But hunger is a constant pressure. She must hunt almost daily to produce enough milk for her growing cubs. She spots a Thompson's gazelle, one of the fastest antelopes. This will not be a simple hunt. It will be a duel between two of the fastest creatures on Earth. She uses a termite mound as a vantage point, her keen eyes scanning the herd. Looking for any sign of weakness, any individual that is slightly isolated. The stalk is tense and low to the ground. She is a coiled spring, an explosion of energy waiting to be released. The chase begins. In a few strides, she reaches speeds of over kilometers per hour. Her long tail acts as a rudder, allowing her to make hairpin turns. The gazelle is running for its life, its hooves barely seeming to touch the ground. It is a life or death race played out in a matter of seconds. This incredible burst of speed is unsustainable. The cheetah's body temperature skyrockets and she risks overheating. The chase must be short. She closes the distance and with a swipe of her paw, trips the gazelle. The hunt is over, but the cheetah is utterly exhausted. She must rest, catch her breath before she can even begin to eat. This is her moment of greatest vulnerability. Vultures begin to circle overhead, an unmistakable signal to every carnivore in the area that a kill has been made. Cheetah knows she is on borrowed time. She calls to her cubs, urging them to eat quickly. A lion drawn by the vultures appears on the horizon. The cheetah's heart sinks. She cannot defend her kill against such a powerful rival. She has no choice but to abandon her meal. To fight would mean certain death for her and her cubs. This is the cheetah's curse. She is a masterful hunter, but she is often unable to reap the rewards of her own success. The energy expended in the hunt has been wasted. Now she must find the strength to hunt again, her cubs still hungry. The story of the cheetah is one of incredible talent and tragic compromise. It is a life lived on the edge, a fragile existence in a world of giants. To watch a cheetah run is to witness perfection in motion. But to understand its life is to understand the profound fragility of that perfection. As dusk settles, a different sound fills the air. A chorus of whoops and cackles that has long been misinterpreted as the laughter of a coward. But this is the voice of the spotted hyena, one of the most successful and intelligent carnivores in Africa. They are not mere scavengers, they are powerful predators in their own right. Their society is a matriarchy. The females are larger, stronger, and more aggressive than the males. A high-ranking female rules the clan with absolute authority. The clan is a complex social unit, a network of alliances and rivalries. Their bonds are maintained through intricate greetings and a constant stream of communication. Their reputation as scavengers is only part of the story. In many areas, over % of their diet comes from their own kills. They hunt in coordinated packs, using stamina and strategy to wear down their prey. A clan of hyenas can bring down an adult zebra or even a Cape buffalo. Their jaws are among the most powerful in the animal kingdom. They can crush bone to get to the nutritious marrow, leaving almost no part of a carcass to waste. Tonight, the clan is on the hunt. Led by the matriarch, they move as a fluid unit across the moonlit plains. They encounter a lone wildebeest, separated from its herd. The chase is not a sprint, but a relentless, long-distance pursuit. The hyenas take turns running at the front, tiring the wildebeest, testing its strength, probing for weakness. Their endurance is phenomenal. They can maintain a high speed for several kilometers, a feat that few other predators can match. The wildebeest eventually begins to slow, its sides heaving. The hyenas close in, their calls becoming more excited. The end is near. The kill is efficient and brutal. The clan descends upon the fallen animal, and the feast begins immediately. The competition at the carcass is fierce. Social status determines who eats first, with the matriarch and her cubs having priority. The hyena's communal den is the heart of the clan, a subterranean maze where the cubs are raised in relative safety. Hyena cubs are born with their eyes open and their teeth fully erupted. They begin fighting for dominance within moments of birth. This early aggression establishes a hierarchy that will last their entire lives. It is a harsh but effective way to prepare them for the competitive world outside the den. The relationship between hyenas and lions is one of eternal animosity. They are arch rivals, competing for the ure. Same food and territory. A large clan of hyenas will not hesitate to confront a small group of lions, often successfully driving them off a kill. But a male lion is a mortal enemy. He will kill a hyena without hesitation, not for food, but to eliminate a competitor. The hyena plays a vital role as the savanna's sanitarian. By consuming carcasses and bone, they prevent the spread of disease. They are a critical component of the ecosystem, a check and balance on the power of the other predators. Their intelligence is often underestimated. Studies have shown their problem-solving skills to be on par with those of primates. The cackle of a hyena is not the sound of foolishness. It is the sound of a complex, successful, and deeply misunderstood survivor. To truly understand the savanna, one must look past old prejudices and see the hyena for what it is, a matriarch, a hunter, and a vital force of nature. A rumble begins in the south, a sound that is felt as much as it is heard. It is the sound of millions of hooves on dry earth, the sound of an ancient instinct awakened. The Great Migration has arrived in Kenya, a swirling, chaotic mass of over 1 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebra and gazelle. This is not a journey of choice. It is a relentless pilgrimage driven by the search for rain and the fresh grass that follows. A river of life flowing across the continent. The sheer scale of the migration is difficult to comprehend. The columns of animals can stretch for over kilometers, a moving ecosystem that transforms the landscape. For the predators of the Masai Mara, this is a time of incredible abundance. The arrival of the herds is a banquet that will sustain them for months. The herds are in constant motion, a restless sea of life. They graze as they move, their grunting calls a constant, monotonous soundtrack to the journey. In the midst of this chaos, life begins. Wildebeest calves are born with the ability to stand and run within minutes, a crucial adaptation for a life on the move. A mother must quickly bond with her calf, her scent and call the only things that will keep them together in the overwhelming press of the herd. A calf separated from its mother is a death sentence. It will quickly fall prey to the hyenas and jackals that shadow the migration. But the greatest single obstacle in their path lies ahead. The Mara River, a formidable barrier of deep water, steep banks, and unseen dangers. The herds gather at the crossing points, their numbers swelling into a nervous, agitated mass. The pressure from behind builds, but the fear of the water holds them back. The air is thick with tension and dust. They can smell the water, they can see the green grass on the other side, but they can also sense the death that waits beneath the surface. Waiting in the murky depths are the Nile crocodiles, some of the largest in Africa. They have waiting for this moment all year, conserving their energy for this annual feast. Finally, the pressure becomes too much. One wildebeest leaps, and the dam breaks. A torrent of bodies pours over the bank and into the river. The crossing is an explosion of panic and desperation. The water churns with flailing limbs as the animals swim for their lives. The crocodiles strike. Their attacks are brutally efficient, dragging animals under in a violent death roll. The river runs red. It is not just. The crocodiles. The sheer force of the current can sweep away the weak. The panic can lead to drownings and trampling. Many will not make it. The river demands a heavy toll for safe passage. It is a sacrifice that fuels the river's own ecosystem. The bodies of the fallen will feed not only the crocodiles, but also fish, turtles, and birds like the marabou stork. Death here is a source of life. Those that reach the other side are exhausted, but they are the survivors. They have passed the rivers. Great test and can now claim the reward of fresh grazing. The zebras often cross with the wildebeest, but they are more cautious, choosing their crossing points more carefully. Their intelligence is a key advantage. The relationship between the two species is symbiotic. Zebras eat the longer, tougher grasses, clearing the way for the wildebeest who prefer the shorter shoots. The migration is the lifeblood of the entire Serengeti Mara ecosystem. It shapes the landscape, fertilizes the soil, and dictates the rhythm of life for countless other species. But this ancient wonder is under threat. Fences, roads, and human settlements are beginning to encroach on their migratory routes. The river of life is being slowly dammed by the march of human progress. The long-term consequences are uncertain, but deeply worrying. Climate change is also altering rainfall patterns, making the herds search for grass more unpredictable and perilous. For now, the migration continues, a powerful testament to the resilience of nature and the enduring power of instinct. The sound of their hooves is the heartbeat of this land, a rhythm that has pulsed through this valley for millennia. To witness the migration is to witness the raw, unfiltered power of the natural world on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine. It is a brutal, beautiful, and utterly unforgettable spectacle, a reminder of what the world was like before we tamed it. The wildebeest, with its comical appearance and herd mentality, might seem an unlikely hero, but its endless journey is one of the greatest stories on Earth. The crossing is over for now. The survivors graze peacefully, but the memory of the river and the knowledge that they must cross it again is never far. The journey has no real beginning or end. It is a continuous circular pilgrimage, a wheel of life and death that never stops turning. The predators on the plains are re-energized. The lions, leopards, and hyenas will feast for months to come there. Only survival tied to this great journey. Even the grass itself benefits. The intense grazing stimulates new growth, and the animal's dung provides vital nutrients to the soil. The entire ecosystem is built around this single, massive event. It is the engine that drives the incredible biodiversity of the Mara. But as the herds move on, they leave behind a silence that is almost as profound as the noise they created. The plains feel empty, waiting. They are waiting for the rains to shift, for the instinct to reawaken, for the great river of life to once again reverse its course. The migration is a symbol of the interconnectedness of all things in this wild land, a powerful reminder that no creature exists in isolation. And as long as the herds continue to run, the wild heart of Kenya will continue to beat with a powerful and undeniable rhythm. This one is not a chaotic rush, but a slow, deliberate procession guided by ancient wisdom. A herd of elephants, led by a great matriarch, moves across the dusty plains of Amboseli. They are giants walking through a land of giants. The matriarch is a living library. Her mind holds maps of this vast territory, knowledge of hidden water holes and ancient pathways passed down through her mother line. Her memory is the herd's most precious resource. It is the key to their survival in a land of harsh and unpredictable extremes. Elephants are not just powerful, they are profoundly intelligent and deeply social. Their family bonds are as strong and complex as any on Earth. The entire herd functions as a single, cohesive unit. They communicate through a rich language of rumbles, trumpets, and subtle body language. Much of their communication is infrasonic, low-frequency sounds that travel for kilometers through. The ground, a secret language that binds them together. A young calf walks under the protective shadow of its mother. The first few years of its life are a long apprenticeship, learning the thousands of things it needs to know to survive. The calf is raised by the entire herd. Its aunts, sisters, and cousins all act as babysitters, teaching it, protecting it, and showing it affection. This communal upbringing is vital. It ensures that the herd's collective knowledge is passed on, securing the future of the family. Today, the matriarch is leading them towards a swamp fed by the meltwaters of Kilimanjaro. It is a long and arduous journey through the dry, baking heat. Elephants are architects of the ecosystem. As they move, they topple trees, creating grasslands. They disperse seeds in their dung, planting new forests. In the dry season, they use their tusks and feet to dig for water in dry riverbeds. These elephant-dug wells become a lifeline for countless other animals. They're immense. Size means they must eat constantly, consuming hundreds of kilograms of vegetation every day. Their lives are a constant search for food. The herd finally reaches the cool, green sanctuary of the swamp. The relief is palpable. They drink deeply, submerging themselves in the life-giving water. This is a time for socializing and play. Young bulls engage in mock fights, testing their strength. Calves splash and chase each other with joyous abandon. But even here, there are challenges. The rich. Swamp vegetation can be tough, and competition with other herds can be intense. Older bulls, who live mostly solitary lives, often visit the herds in search of receptive females. Their arrival can create tension and excitement. A bull in must, a state of heightened testosterone, is a formidable and unpredictable force. Even the matriarch will give him a wide berth. Elephants display emotions that we are only just beginning to understand. They show joy, grief, compassion, and a profound sense of self-awareness. They will mourn their dead, often returning to the bones of a fallen family member for years, gently touching the skull with their trunks in a silent tribute. This deep emotional intelligence makes the threat they face even more tragic. The greatest danger to an elephant is not a lion. It is a human with a gun. The demand for ivory has fueled a poaching crisis that has slaughtered elephants by the hundreds of thousands across Africa. Each elephant killed is not just an individual. Loss. It is a loss of knowledge. When a matriarch is killed, her herd loses its living map, its library of survival skills. The trauma of poaching ripples through the herds. Young elephants who witness the slaughter of their mothers can be psychologically scarred for life. Kenya has been at the forefront of the fight against poaching, implementing a zero-tolerance policy and burning its ivory stockpiles in a powerful global statement. Conservation efforts are working. In places like Amboseli, elephant populations are slowly recovering, a testament to the dedication of rangers and communities. But another threat is growing: human-elephant conflict. As human populations expand, elephants are squeezed into smaller areas, and their ancient migration routes are blocked. They raid crops, not out of malice, but out of hunger and confusion. This brings them into direct conflict with farmers who are simply trying to survive. Finding solutions for coexistence is the greatest conservation. Challenge of our time. It requires innovative ideas, community involvement, and a deep understanding of both human and elephant needs. The elephant is a symbol of Africa's ancient soul, a creature of immense power, profound wisdom, and surprising fragility. Their lumbering walk is the rhythm of deep time. Their rumbling calls are the echoes of a world that is slowly vanishing. They are the gardeners of the savanna, the keepers of memory. Their fate is a barometer for the health of the entire continent. To lose the elephant would be to lose a part of ourselves, a part of our own origin story that began on these very plains. As the sun sets behind Kilimanjaro, the herd gathers close. They face the uncertain future as they have always faced everything. Together, their low rumbles are a conversation, a reassurance, a promise to remember, to endure, to continue their long, slow journey across the face of Africa. The great matriarch looks out over the plains. Her eyes hold the wisdom of generations and the deep, weary knowledge of the challenges that lie ahead. She knows that the greatest strength of her family lies not in their tusks or their size, but in their bond with each other. And in that bond, there is a powerful lesson for us all. A lesson about family, about memory, and about our shared responsibility for the future of this planet. The story of the elephant is far from over. It is a story of struggle, of resilience, and of a profound and enduring hope. Looming above the acacia canopy, a creature of impossible proportions moves with a slow, swaying grace. It is a silent watchtower of the savanna. The giraffe, the tallest animal on Earth, sees the world from a perspective all its own. Its great height is both a remarkable advantage and a unique challenge. From its elevated viewpoint, it can spot predators from a great distance, acting as an early warning system for many other grazing animals. Its long neck allows it to browse on leaves that are beyond the reach of any other herbivore, giving it access to a unique food source. But this incredible anatomy comes with a price. To pump blood all the way up to its brain, the giraffe has a massive heart and incredibly high blood pressure. The simple act of drinking water is a moment of extreme vulnerability. It must splay its long legs awkwardly to lower its head to the ground. In this position, it is clumsy and off balance, an inviting target for a patient predator like a lion or crocodile. Giraffes drink quickly and nervously, their eyes constantly scanning the horizon. They will often drink in groups, taking turns to stand guard. Despite their gentle appearance, giraffes are not defenseless. A kick from one of its powerful legs can crush a lion's skull. Males also engage in a unique form of combat called necking. They swing their massive necks and heads at each other like clubs. These battles can be surprisingly violent, a contest of strength and endurance to establish dominance and win mating rights. a newborn giraffe enters the world with a 2-meter drop to the ground. This rude awakening forces it to take its first breath. Within an hour, the calf is on its feet and able to run. Like the wildebeest, it must be mobile from birth to survive. The mother will often leave her calf hidden in the grass while she forages, returning periodically to nurse it. This is the calf's most dangerous time. While we often think of giraffes as a single species, there are several distinct subspecies like the reticulated and Maasai giraffes found in Kenya. Tragically, giraffes are undergoing a silent extinction. Their populations have plummeted by nearly % in the last 3 decades. This decline has happened largely unnoticed by the public. They are being lost to habitat loss, poaching for their meat and tails, and human-wildlife conflict. The silent watchtowers of the savanna are slowly disappearing from the skyline, a world without their unique and graceful presence would be a much poorer place. Conservation groups are now racing against time to protect these gentle giants, to secure their habitats, and to raise awareness of their plight. The giraffe story is a quiet tragedy, a warning that even the most familiar and iconic animals are not safe from the pressures of the modern world. In the dense thorn scrub of Laikipia, a living fortress moves with a surprising agility. It is a creature from another time, a survivor of prehistoric ages. The black rhino is a force of nature, a 2-ton tank of muscle and aggression. Its prehensile upper lip is perfectly adapted for browsing on shrubs and trees. It is a solitary and often cantankerous animal, with poor eyesight but an excellent sense of smell and hearing. It will often charge first and ask questions later. Its 2 horns are not bone, but tightly compacted keratin. They are its primary weapon of defense and the very reason for its near extinction. An insatiable and senseless demand for rhino horn in Asia, based on debunked medicinal myths, has fueled a poaching war across Africa. The black rhino was pushed to the absolute brink. Its numbers collapsed by % between and it became a ghost in its own land. But here, in conservancies like Olpejeta and Lewa, the black rhino is making a last defiant stand. This is the front line of a desperate conservation battle. These are not just parks, they are fortresses, protected by fences, surveillance technology, and teams of dedicated, highly trained rangers. The rangers are the true heroes of this story. They put their lives on the line every day, patrolling the bush, tracking poachers, and protecting these animals. They form deep bonds with the rhinos under their care, knowing each individual by sight, by name, and by personality. A mother rhino leads her calf through the bush. The calf will stay with its mother for 2 to 3 years, learning the skills it needs to survive. The bond is incredibly strong. The mother is a fierce protector, and her explosive charge is a terrifying sight for any potential threat. Thanks to these intensive conservation efforts, black rhino numbers in Kenya are slowly but steadily increasing. It is a fragile victory, but a victory nonetheless. The existence of the last 2 northern white rhinos in the world, both females, living under our armed guard at Olpejeta, is a heartbreaking symbol of what is at stake. Their species will vanish from the earth when they die. They are ambassadors for an extinction crisis that we created. The fight to save the rhino is more than just about saving an animal. It is a fight against greed, against ignorance, and for the very soul of conservation. Every rhino birth in these sanctuaries is a triumph, a small but powerful victory against the forces of extinction. The black rhino, is a grumpy, solitary, and magnificent survivor. It is a symbol of nature's resilience and our profound responsibility to protect it. It is a story of hope, but a hope that is earned every single day through constant vigilance and unwavering dedication. The future of this prehistoric giant rests entirely in our hands. Its survival will be a measure of our own humanity. Above the terrestrial drama, a different kind of sovereignty is declared. In the vast, open skies of Kenya, the birds of prey reign supreme. From a thermal high above, the martial eagle, Africa's largest, surveys its domain. Its eyesight is 8 times more powerful than a human's, a living telescope. It can spot a dik-dik or a monitor lizard from over 5 kilometers away. When it dives, it is a feathered missile, reaching incredible speeds. Its talons are the size of a man's hand, capable of crushing bone. It is the apex predator of the air, feared by everything from monkeys to young impalas. On the ground, another hunter patrols the grasslands. The secretary bird, with its long legs and eagle-like head, looks like a creature from a fantasy novel. It hunts on foot, striding through the grass in search of its primary prey, snakes. It kills them with a series of powerful, lightning-fast stomps. But the most crucial birds of prey are often the most maligned, the vultures, circling high. On the thermals are the savanna's essential cleanup crew. Their soaring flight is not a sign of impending doom, but a vital ecological service. They are nature's most efficient scavengers. When a large animal dies, the vultures are often the first to arrive. Different species specialize on different parts of the carcass. The large, lappet-faced vulture uses its powerful beak to tear through tough hide, opening the carcass for the smaller white-backed vultures. Their digestive systems are incredibly robust, capable of destroying bacteria like anthrax and rabies that would be deadly to other animals. They are the guardians of the savanna's health, preventing the spread of disease. A world without vultures would be a much sicker place. Tragically, vulture populations across Africa are collapsing. They are the primary victims of retaliatory poisoning aimed at predators. They also face threats from power lines and the loss of their nesting trees. Their disappearance is an ecological emergency that is happening in plain sight. The battler eagle, with its striking black, white, and red plumage, is another iconic raptor. It spends most of its day on the wing, a tireless aerial surveyor. The fish eagle, with its haunting, iconic call, is the master of the lakes and rivers. Its dramatic dives to snatch fish from the water are a classic safari sight. These rulers of the sky are more than just beautiful birds. They are barometers of the health of the entire ecosystem. Their keen, eyes see everything, from the slightest movement in the grass to the slow, worrying changes in the landscape below. Their presence speaks of a healthy prey base, clean water, and a balanced environment. Their absence is a silent, screaming alarm. To protect them is to protect the entire web of life they preside over. The fate of the Sky Kings is tied to the fate of the land below. In the shadows of the giants, a world of furious activity goes largely unnoticed. This is the realm of the small, the engine room of the savanna. Here, power is not measured in size, but in colossal numbers. The insects, reptiles, and amphibians are the true foundation of this entire ecosystem. The termites are master architects. Their towering mounds, ventilated by a complex system of tunnels, are marvels of natural engineering. They break down dead wood and plant matter, recycling nutrients. back into the soil. Without them, the savanna would choke on its own dead vegetation. The dung beetle is a hero of humble origins. By burying animal dung, it fertilizes the soil, disperses seeds, and controls fly populations. A single dung beetle can bury over times its own body weight in one night. Their collective impact on the health of the plains is immense. Swarms of locusts can be a destructive force, a biblical plague that consumes everything in its path. But they are also a protein-rich. Feast for countless birds and mammals. The reptiles play their own crucial roles. A black mamba, one of the world's most venomous snakes, is a lethal predator of small mammals, controlling rodent populations. The chameleon, a slow-moving master of camouflage, is a highly efficient insect hunter. Its tongue, longer than its body, is a sticky, deadly projectile. The monitor lizard is a relentless opportunist. It scavenges kills, raids crocodile nests for eggs, and hunts anything smaller than itself. The amphibians, like the foam nest tree frog, are tied to the rains. Their explosive breeding cycles are a key part of the seasonal rhythm. These smallest players are the first to feel the effects of environmental change. Pesticides, pollution, and shifts in rainfall can devastate their populations. And if the foundation crumbles, the entire structure above it is threatened. The lives of the lions and elephants depend on the health of these hidden worlds. A driver ant colony on the move. Is a superorganism, a terrifying river of biting insects that consumes everything in its path. A force of nature in miniature. The intricate relationship between the acacia tree and the acacia ant is a perfect example of symbiosis. The tree provides shelter and food. The ants provide aggressive protection from herbivores. The jumping spiders, with their incredible eyesight and athletic prowess, are tiny, charismatic predators of the insect world. This world is a constant. High-stakes drama of life and death, just as intense as the struggles of the larger animals. It is a reminder that in nature there is no such thing as an insignificant life. Every creature has a purpose, a role to play in the grand, complex scheme. To understand the savanna, one must get down on one's knees. One must look closer and appreciate the immense power of the small. For it is here, in the grass, in the soil, in the hidden corners, that the true resilience and complexity of Kenya's wilderness is revealed. In the woodlands and rocky hills, a complex intelligence watches the world go by. The primates of Kenya are masters of social strategy and adaptation. A troop of olive baboons forages on the ground. They are one of the most successful primates, thanks to their omnivorous diet and their highly organized social structure. The troop is a complex society of alliances, hierarchies, and family dynasties. It is ruled by a coalition of powerful alpha males. Their lives are a constant political game. Status is everything, and it is constantly being challenged through displays of aggression and subtle social maneuvering. They are highly intelligent problem solvers. They know their territory intimately, every water source, every fruiting tree, every safe place to sleep. But their intelligence does not make them safe. They are a favored prey of the leopard, their greatest and most feared enemy. The troop relies on a multi-layered defense system. Sentinels are posted in high places. They're sharp. Eyes scanning for danger. An alarm bark from a sentinel sends the entire troop scrambling for the safety of the trees or cliffs. The young and females are surrounded by the formidable males. An alpha male baboon, with his massive canines and fierce courage, is a dangerous opponent. He will not hesitate to confront a leopard to defend his family. In the forests of the Aberdares or Mount Kenya, a different primate lives a more secretive life. The black and white colobus monkey. These monkeys are specialists, feeding mainly on leaves. Their dramatic long white tails and cloaks make them look like elegant acrobats of the canopy. They live in small family groups and are the primary prey for the crowned eagle, another powerful aerial predator. The vervet monkey is another common sight, a clever and adaptable primate often seen on the fringes of human habitation. They have a sophisticated language of alarm calls with different sounds for different predators, such as leopard, eagle, or snake. This allows the troop to respond appropriately, looking up for an eagle, down for a snake, or running for the trees for a leopard. The primates are our closest living relatives. In their complex social lives, their intelligence and their capacity for both conflict and cooperation, we can see a reflection of ourselves. They are a link to our own evolutionary past, a reminder of our shared origins on these very African plains. But they too are facing threats. Habitat loss is squeezing them into smaller and smaller areas, increasing conflict with humans. Their story is intertwined with our own. Their survival depends on our ability to make space for them in a rapidly changing world. To watch a baboon troop is to watch a soap opera of power, family, and survival. A complex drama that has been playing out in these hills for millions of years. In the woodlands and rocky hills, a complex intelligence watches the world go by. The primates of Kenya are masters of social strategy and adaptation. A troop of olive baboons forages on the ground. They are one of the most successful primates, thanks to their omnivorous diet and their highly organized social structure. The troop is a complex society of alliances, hierarchies, and family dynasties. It is ruled by a coalition of powerful alpha males. Their lives are a constant political game. Status is everything, and it is constantly being challenged through displays of aggression and subtle social maneuvering. They are highly intelligent problem solvers. They know their territory intimately, every water source, every fruiting tree, every safe place to sleep. But their intelligence does not make them safe. They are a favored prey of the leopard, their greatest and most feared enemy. The troop relies on a multi-layered defense system. Sentinels are posted in high places. Their sharp eyes scanning for danger. An alarm bark from a sentinel sends the entire troop scrambling for the safety of the trees or cliffs. The young and females are surrounded by the formidable males. An alpha male baboon, with his massive canines and fierce courage, is a dangerous opponent. He will not hesitate to confront a leopard to defend his family. In the forests of the Aberdares or Mount Kenya, a different primate lives a more secretive life. The black and white colobus monkey. These monkeys are specialists, feeding mainly on leaves. Their dramatic long white tails and cloaks make them look like elegant acrobats of the canopy. They live in small family groups and are the primary prey for the crowned eagle, another powerful aerial predator. The vervet monkey is another common sight, a clever and adaptable primate often seen on the fringes of human habitation. They have a sophisticated language of alarm calls with different sounds for different predators, such as leopard, eagle, or This allows the truth to respond.